Stephen Colbert is trashing Trump and dumping his ratings even farther down. Even the legacy media is calling his show eerie, as CBS begins to circle the drain. But what if we told you the real reason late night's loony has gone so screwy might just have something to do with the FCC and a lawsuit worth far more than just $1 billion or $2 billion. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel that continues to bring you the news you need when it comes to entertainment. We explain it, we dissectify it, and yes, we keep you ahead of the culture curve. It does not matter if it's a little ripple or a big kahuna. We're here for you. Folks, we only ask that you click the like button and let's get underway. Things are not going the way of CBS. Of course, they're facing a $20 billion lawsuit from the president of the United States, as well as an FCC investigation into whether or not they engaged in election interference and dishonest news coverage. So who are you going to go to if you're CBS? If your CBS News division is under such strife, if the president of news gathering and editorial just left and reports are that everyone wants to exit as fast as they can to get out of this tidal wave that's aimed at them, well, who do you go to run your propaganda? None other than Stephen Colbert, who's really, really good at propaganda. Need I remind you of the skits he did back around 2020? Oh, I'm sure you all remember the dancing syringes. All right, well, it's not any better here. Take a look at this. It's out of The Guardian. It says, Stephen Colbert on Elon Musk, an unelected donor running an unauthorized employee kill squad. That's what he's trying to say. It's what he is saying, and the crazy thing about this is he's supposed to be late night humor. He's supposed to be comedy, and yet he's out there. He has lost the entire semblance of sanity. Poor Stephen Colbert. Let's read through it. And CBS is never nice to us if we try to play stuff from them. We'll try to play a little bit. We'll see how it goes. But here's what Stephen Colbert was saying. He says, it feels like every day we get news of yet another inexplicable, chaotic move seemingly bent on undermining everything we as Americans hold dear. Now, folks, is that how you feel? Think about it for a minute, because if that is not your life experience, just going to the grocery store and riding in your car and picking up the kids from soccer or whatever it is that you're doing, if that's not your life experience, if that's not what you are watching happen, then you might consider that perhaps this is propaganda. It's meant to adjust the mood, change the thermostat so that you think, well, maybe it actually is cold outside. Maybe, well, cold inside. We all know all over most of the country it's cold outside. Maybe the air conditioning is not working, even when it's doing just fine. Colbert's job right now is to go out there and make you think that everything is falling apart. He says, what's next? Jersey Mike's becomes Maine's Mickey's? Will Papa John step down as the pizza pope? Burger King abdicates his throne to nary a common nugget? Now, these are attempts to lighten the mood of what is doom and gloom that he's preaching every single night, and it has destroyed his ratings. So why is he doing it? Well, we'll get to it. I want to show you the clip, though. Here is Stephen Colbert and what you can expect if you're watching his show, on CBS. Here we go.
Over the weekend, Doge laid off several thousand people at HHS, and at the FDA, they laid off hundreds of employees who work on nutrition, food safety response, and infant formula. That is worrying. How will we feed the newborns if we don't have any formula?
Now, I don't know about you guys, but it's not very humorous to me, and it's probably not based on any sort of reality. I mean, go to the store and buy some formula if that's what you need. It's there. There have been times when the shelves were bare. This is not one of those, and Stephen Colbert seems to me just to be trying to generate hysteria. But there is none. The only hysteria that's happening is at CBS, where I suppose at their behest, he's going even more crazy than ever before. Take a look. Here's more from it. He says, Elon and the Doge bags have fired so many people so quickly in so many critical areas with so little thought beforehand that the government is now scrambling to rehire nuclear staff it fired on Friday. This, though, folks, if you look at it, it's hard to differentiate what he's doing. It's hard to differentiate what Stephen Colbert is doing on late night TV, which remember is Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, David Letterman. It's supposed to be funny. It's hard to differentiate what he's doing from Rachel Maddow. It's hard to differentiate what he's doing between Miss No Joy Reid. And I'm not trying to say that, you shouldn't watch them. You make up your own mind, but there's a genre difference here. Stephen Colbert is supposed to be humorous. Instead, he is, he's straight up the playbook of CNN and MSNBC. So why would CBS do that at a time when CNN and MSNBC are in financial straits? Why would they make their late night TV play out the same way? And here it is again. Take a look at that out of HuffPost by Lee Moran. Robert De Niro's politically charged answer leaves eerie silence during late show interview. The zero-day star and late show host Stephen Colbert let a haunting silence hang in the air for several seconds. Now, doesn't that just look like the sort of show that you would want to watch in the evening as you get ready to go to bed? Not jovial fun, not lighthearted laughs, not cute little one-liners, but instead an eerie silence during a political discussion. I know that's how I want to go to bed. I know that'll really do well. And guess what, folks? It's not financially beneficial. I think there's another reason for it, but I want to show you first how badly this is going. This strategy of turning late night TV into a full-blown political affair has, destroyed it. The entire genre. Colbert, though, perhaps the worst of them. This is out of Variety, and Variety, of course, is a trade organization. It's a publication that comes out of Hollywood. It's supposed to drive the narrative, and they're admitting now that Greg Gutfeld has utterly conquered late night TV. They're just admitting it. And once they admit it, it has gone so far beyond the obvious that it slapped them in the face 10 times, and now they must write about it. You all knew about this, though, because you watched the channel. It says how Greg Gutfeld became the Bill Maher of Fox News and toppled Fallon and Colbert in the ratings. He conquered Kimmel, too. Wasn't quite as hard. Tatiana Siegel is the author here. It says, on a Tuesday in February, Hollywood is in the throes of a bonfire of the vanities moment. Carla Sofia Gascon's old social media post with shocking takes on certain very controversial issues our roiling award season have turned the actress into a pariah. But the Amelia Perez star, the first openly person of non-binary sort of status nominated for an acting Oscar, is also a tricky subject to satirize. That's because it's a sacred cow. That's why it's off limits. You can't touch it. So Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert have completely ignored it. The task then is left to Greg Gutfeld, whose eponymous Fox News show has made him the most watched man in late night TV. What does that mean? Well, folks, in humor and comedy, you're supposed to be able to touch anything you need to touch and make light of it and have a good time. But certain issues, the sacred cows of the left, are far, far out of reach for the comedians of late night on the major networks. And that means they're just sitting there doing the stuff that we talked about before. Let's go back to it, folks. Take a look from the Huffington Post. They're left with an eerie silence during a late show political interview. Boy, that sounds like fun. Boy, or you know what? They're sitting there talking about percentages of people being fired from the government as part of cutbacks. Now, they're not paying attention to any firings across the nation in terms of businesses or corporations. If there's a reduction of force of 5% at a company, they don't cover any of that. They only cover it when it's in the government because it's part of the propaganda efforts. During a taping of his top-rated Gutfeld, he scrolls through the offending tweets and booms dramatically. The more I read of these, the more I'm starting to like this broad. The actress may have caught a stray here, but the real target of his monologue is Hollywood. Now, folks, I would change my way of saying some of these things. Just know I'm reading the article. What you need to know is that Variety is now essentially saying, hey, late night, you've been conquered. You've been defeated, and Greg Gutfeld did it. All right? Well, let's go a little deeper, folks. Let's go a little deeper. Why? Why are they using Stephen Colbert as a propaganda piece instead of driving advertising revenue for CBS? And Lord knows CBS needs it, right? They're facing a $20 billion lawsuit. They have existential issues at hand. They could even lose their network status. So why would they sacrifice late night on the altar of whatever this is? Well, here might be an inkling of why. This is from Winston Cho. It came out yesterday evening from The Hollywood Reporter. It says Paramount is starting to fight back against Trump in 60 Minutes lawsuit. The CBS News owner's legal strategy has revolved around arguments challenging the president's insistence that it should stay in federal court in Texas, in addition to raising the specter of discovery and arbitration. But a settlement is a wild card. Now, hang tight. I know this is in the weeds when you came here to find out what's going on in late night, but this will explainify it, I believe. Hang with us. In January, reports that that Paramount Global, who owns CBS Viacom, okay, and remember that Paramount Global is owned by Amusements National, whatever it is, they're getting ready to sell CBS and Paramount and all that to Skydance, right? The problem is selling CBS to Skydance is very hard to do if the FCC strikes its network status, and it's even harder to do if CBS has a value of something like $6 billion and they have a lawsuit hanging around them like an albatross for $20 billion. That sale is at risk. And if the sale is at risk, then it could mean it's a very brisk trip to bankruptcy, the first perhaps belly up for legacy media networks. It says in January, reports that Paramount Global was mulling whether to settle a long-shot lawsuit filed by President Trump. Notice that's an editorialization. Notice that, folks. Notice what they do. Settle a long-shot lawsuit. If it was a long-shot lawsuit, they wouldn't be worried about it. Pay attention to it. If it was long-shot, they wouldn't be worried about it. Was it long-shot when ABC and Disney settled and paid out millions and millions and millions of dollars? Was it long shot when CNN just lost to a military veteran over impugning his integrity and they paid out millions and millions of dollars? There's a reason that they're worried. Continuing. Sparked a frenzy over the appearance that the company was capitulating to the administration as it sought regulatory approval for its merger with Skydance Media. In other words, if you try to settle and avoid $20 billion in damages, which would end the company. If you try to settle, you're capitulating. How dare you? A month later, that settlement hasn't materialized, with Paramount now signaling that it's prepared to go on the offensive. Bull hunkus. Its multi-pronged legal strategy revolves around arguments that Trump is judge shopping, choosing to file a lawsuit at court where a sympathetic judge is likely to oversee the case, and the possibility that those suing the company agreed to arbitration clauses when they used services hosted by the entertainment conglomerate. It's also leveraging the threat of uncovering information about Trump's financials, including with respect to his social media company, Truth Social, and the cryptocurrency he launched in Discovery. None of that will have any impact on this whatsoever. None of it. And I'm not trying to, I'm not here to say that Trump's perfect, far from it. I'm not here to tell you that Trump's just absolutely going to win in every way. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of this is just nonsense. So here's what I would suggest to you all, and I just want you to consider it and think on it. If I'm CBS, right? If I'm CBS and CBS News, I've just lost the president of news gathering and editorial. They're gone. Reports are coming out that everybody's trying to get out of CBS as fast as they can to get away from this. I've got the FCC on me. My network status is in jeopardy. I have the president of the United States with a $20 billion lawsuit against me. If I'm CBS, if I'm Paramount and I'm looking at this, I really have a hard time now going after the president of the United States. Oh, and by the way, I just got caught with my pants down supporting anti-free speech stuff in Europe, and I'm getting mocked mercilessly. Then maybe CBS News cannot carry the water, but perhaps Colbert can. Ratings have crashed for late night TV, sacrificed at the behest of those who wish for CBS to be a nest of far, far leftism. So if the ratings for late night are already in the gutter and being defeated by Gutfield easily, then perhaps you try to find whatever value you can in the show before it goes dark along with the rest of late night, as it probably will do in 5 years or less. So what do you do? What is the value in it? What can you mine out of this? What diamonds are left in this vacant mind? Well, you might be able to find the opportunity to take some political jabs on the way out. You might find that this is the place that you can leave little doubt of where you stand at the same time that you have to pull back dramatically in your news division. And that might be the last stand of CBS and the wackies and the weirdos, the ideologues that drove them into a position where they could actually lose everything and go completely under. Unfortunately, like cockroaches exposed to sunlight, they'll go elsewhere. just as the president of CBS News Gathering and Editorial did, and just as many others are likely to do in the days to come. Folks, that is the video for the day. I hope it explains away why Stephen Colbert is not interested in being a funny man in an hour dedicated to funny things as you get ready to wind down. If you agree, drop a comment down below and let us know what you think about the thesis, as well as, folks, please help us out. A like, a share, a subscribe. It's all great. And click it. Stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Folks, we'll see you real soon. Keep learning, keep growing, stay funny, and keep having fun.
Listen up, my brothers and sisters. You've been listening to Phils and those with an agenda to destroy your brain cells for far too long. It's time to change your way of doing things. Hold up. TPP is the place to be. Covering the news so honestly. It's a team that's cool and tried and true. Ahead of the culture curve, they're trying to keep you. Jonas and Pro, they run the show. And they dragged in the bearded culture casino. You got Valiant and Lord and Force of Light. Wonderful people, yeah, they're alright. They got weird bringing in people like Floral, but made no mistake with Lorena Creole. Amelia and John, stuttering guitarist. Martin and Tawny and someone called CMS. Fat Steven makes a bunch of other graphics. Did I mention a partnership with Bending in the comics? Fat Sky is a guy and Doc Matt does the web stuff. There's probably some people I missed. I hope they're not telling you the news that should be fun. With accurate info that's not been spun. You can figure it out as you will see. The TPP is the place to be.
Yeah, Wilton. That was actually pretty good, or white. But I think you might have forgotten Vash.
Well, he lost all his friends. But it was implied.